All right, for those that don't know, my name is Dan, and I'm gonna invite you to my channel. So, my channel is about me being in recovery. I'm a grateful recovering addict, and when I mean grateful, is the fact of that I'm no longer living the life that I used to live. And so, this channel is telling you the ups, the downs, the things that come along with being in recovery, along with the foolishness of the things that I used to do while I was in active addiction. So, this episode right here, we're going to call this, I ain't think about a name of it yet. But so, let me tell you the story. All right, so my drug of choice were Percocets, Xanax, and alcohol. And so, it went in that order. Percocets, then Xanax. It's like, it's hard to explain to somebody that has never been in addiction. But for those that's watching that are in addiction, you will be able to understand how you take a Percocet, some type of way you end up drinking a half a gallon of alcohol. Some type of way it just works like that. If that's your drug of choice or whatever your drug of choice, it might lead from a Xanax to a bank robbery. Once you know yourself, you'll know what it leads to when you do one. It just so happens to turn into so many more. So you'll hear it a lot at the AA meetings and the NA meetings as far as 1 is 2 million and 1 million is never enough, because that's just what it is. So once you do one, it's way too much, because you're gonna need the 1 million and it still ain't gonna be enough. And that's just how it works. It's crazy. If you take it to the Bible, you can get real deep as far as the spiritual battle that goes along with addiction. But that's if you're willing to take that and run with it, because that's what the whole program comes down to. It's the whole program comes to surrender, open-mindedness, willingness, dedication to just try something new. You've learned what you have learned, whether you're 18, 17, 70, or anywhere in between. You've learned everything that you have learned in that amount of time. So it's going to take some time to unlearn the things that you're trying to learn now. But if you don't have the open-mindedness, then you're never going to get there. Or you can get there. You go to jail or something like that. You have to find out the hard way. You know, how does it go? Death, institutions, or rehabs or something. It's a saying that goes along with it. I'm drawing a blank right now because it's throwing me off looking at myself in the camera. But we're going to get used to this together. So, how it all started? So simple. I started off just hanging with my friends. I grew up in South Memphis for the most part. I also lived in Raleigh, but just hanging with my friends, doing everything but the right thing. And so over time, you smoke a little weed or something like that, and then it gets to leading to other things. As far as your drink, you think a beer is something, you think a half a pint or something is something, just gradually going up a ladder downwards. But so I ended up catching myself around high school, getting into pharmaceuticals tougher. And then so that leads to college as far as drinking heavier, around people my age, no matter what they're doing in life. But I was able to drink myself and drug myself into no longer feeling the need to do school. But so that's a rough draft of how it started. And so it ended up turning into let's see, I just turned 33 this year. Today is December 5th. And so I went the greater part of, I got sober off of Percocets in 2022. I went the greater part of, what would that be? 18, I was 2010, I was 18. So I went the greater part of, let's say, 15 years. Now, let's say 2010 to now, yeah, let's say 15 years. The bigger part in the last 15 years, 3 of those years, I've been sober off Percocets. Percocets, Xanax, they haven't been in my body just for the last 3 years. But the greater part of those years, highly intoxicated. And so one thing about having a little bit of knowledge, whether it's street knowledge or it's book knowledge, or if it's both in my case, when you mix them together, you can get away with some stuff that you just wouldn't even fathom. You wouldn't even be able to make up the stories of the things that I have went through to pursue to get more. No one would. I wouldn't believe it if I went there. You probably wouldn't believe it if I showed you. And that's just life. And your story is probably somewhere near worse, or it could have been better. God willing, it was better. But we all have a story. And so this channel is more focusing on that. The good parts of today versus the bad parts of yesterday. And the possibility of how great tomorrow is really going to be if we take, we take consideration that it actually matters. Because tomorrow is going to come with or without us. So the decisions we make today are going to make a difference as far as tomorrow. That can sound so cliche, that can sound so not real, but like I just explained those years, the crazy thing is math was my subject always in life. Couldn't even think of what the number was off the top of my head just then. The brain cells that have been burnt up. But I feel like God's going to bless me with the brain cells eventually back. If I do the hard work as far as just reading and getting something else on my brain besides my brain being on drugs. So this is just my introduction to just let you know what I'm about and what I got going on this channel. And so I really would like this channel to stop someone, to be able to hear the foolishness stories I tell you, along with the good stories I tell you. As far as the recovery part, I would like someone to see this, send this, share this to your family, and let them, because people suffer in silence. They act out. You'll never know what's really going on until a person is ready to tell you. And a person is not going to be willing to turn the other cheek or see it another way in life until they're ready to see it another way in life. It's just what the program is as far as NAAA. I can explain something to you and you're not going to feel it until you're ready to change. And that's okay. It's your life. You're going to do what you want to with it. It's just a whole lot of people that care about your life. They got to deal with your choice. But this is life. This is just how it's going to have to go. I didn't make the rules. I just live by them. But so, this is my introduction to you all. Like I said, it's just little old me trying to let you all know what not to do and what I have done. And I hope you all get a laugh out of what I have done. And I hope those that suffer in silence are able to be able to say, hey, yeah, that sounds real familiar and I don't want no parts in it because it could lead to this. I'm going to tell you where I made all the lefts. I'm going to make sure I tell you that part. But like I said, This is my introduction to you all. Welcome to my channel.